I woke up to an email this morning that's got me feeling all different types of ways. I'm nervous, anxious, excited. Is the car safe to drive? I have a 730-mile drive. And he said, yeah, the car will be fine. It shouldn't have any issues at all. And the engine blew. So, thank you. Bye. So the AAA specialist happened to call me at the same time that I was on my way to the mechanics. I'm leaving a complaint with AAA in hopes that they cover some of the cost of the new engine. Now, I want to tell you guys all about that email, but I got to figure out what's going on with my car. That was way better news than I could have ever expected. Looks like your boy's going JDM. You guys see that right there? $3,141.77. Originally, I was quoted at around $4,300 for an American engine that had about 113,000 miles. The guys at the shop have a connection where they're able to get JDM motors. If you don't know what JDM motors is, it's the Japanese version of the motor. When I was in high school, all my friends used to always try to get the swaps and get the JDM motors because they had more power and they were a little better. So I'm ecstatic right now. I was bummed out I was gonna have to spend upwards of $4,300. Now I'm finding out I'm gonna have to spend $1,000 less, and I'm gonna get a more powerful engine that already has a turbo on it. And if the turbo is compatible, that they're gonna be able to lock that right in there, even if the turbo is a little bigger. Which would mean the car would be a little bit faster. So you know your boy's hyped right now. I'm on my way to the bank now because I don't need as much money as I originally thought I needed for the car, which is a very, very good thing. Can't even begin to tell you how relieved I am to find out that this isn't going to be nearly as much of a financial burden as I originally thought it was going to be. Right now I'm just headed back to the house. I got to grab a few things. I can tell you guys about this email. This has become like my new thing. Toast almost burnt. Every time I put toast in the oven I forget about it until I start smelling something burning in the oven. Unfortunately, it's usually my toast.
I learned that it's a good idea to try to change yourself first if there has to be a change. Changing somebody else is practically impossible.
Now, I don't know if any of you guys know this, but I've been riding bikes, BMX bikes, literally since I was 2 or 3 years old. I think I had a bike with training wheels when I was 2 years old. When I was 3 years old, my parents took the training wheels off. And I raced BMX from about the time I was 5 years old until about 13 or 14 years old. Now, being that BMX was such a huge part of my life, people would always ask me the same stupid question. Are you gonna be in the X Games someday? Now, quite honestly, I never really knew whether these people were making jokes, whether they were being sarcastic, or if X Games is really the only place I had ever seen BMX before. But quite honestly, I didn't really care. Because for me, X Games was my favorite thing to watch every year. I literally looked forward to it coming on every summer. I get out of school and I'd get motivated by watching the X Games. I mean, it was pretty much the only time BMX Street was ever on TV. And it was just pretty cool to watch, you know, 10 or 12 of my favorite riders ride this super awesome course that was only there for a temporary period of time. Now, about that email, it turns out that I was an alternate for the contest, and not everyone can make the contest, so it looks like I'm going to be in. Now, I leave for the contest on Tuesday. It's Saturday, which means I have 3 days to get ready for this contest. If you guys have been following the channel, you know that I hit my head recently, so I haven't really been riding as much as I like to be riding. That being said, I don't really care. I'm just thankful to get this opportunity. Thank you everyone involved for considering me. I don't know how well I'm going to be able to do with the videos, being at the contest and focusing on all these different things, but I'm going to try my best to keep them coming at you. Yeah, man, I don't even know. Childhood dreams.